Okay, so we're going to do notes right now on writing parallel and perpendicular equations. Okay, so what are we doing? It says right here, what are we doing? Okay, given an equation and a certain point, you can create another equation that passes through this point and is either parallel or perpendicular to the given line. So if you remember from our last section, parallel lines have the same slope. Perpendicular lines have negative or opposite reciprocal slopes. Okay, so on this first two here, they want us to write the equation of a line that passes through the point -2, 7 and is parallel to that line. Well, if it's parallel, the only thing we care about is that 4. Okay, so we know that our M on our new line needs to be a -4 because they're parallel, and we have a point, -2, 7. So I don't care which equation you use, I'm going to flip back and forth. So I'm going to do y equals mx plus b. So y equals mx plus b. So that's 8. So I'm going to minus 8, and my b is a -1. So the equation of my line is a -4x minus 1. So that with the line, that would be parallel that goes through a -2, 7. Okay, now the problem with example 2 here is that I don't know what the slope is. So the first thing you have to do is what we've been doing. You have to solve for y and then divide everything by a -3. Okay, now I know what the slope is. The slope is 1/3 and I have a point. So I can do y minus my y value equals m times x minus my x value. So I times in by 1/3, and that's 1/3 x minus 1. And so then I'm going to minus 1, and my answer is y equals 1/3 x minus 2. Okay, so if the question says parallel, you're going to take the slope and you're going to use it exactly as it is. If the question says perpendicular, like this next one, we're not going to use 2. If I want a perpendicular line, I'm going to flip it and take the opposite. So this is the slope that I would use. So I'm going to do y equals mx plus b. Half of 4 is a -2. Add the 2, and b is 5. So my answer is y equals -1/2 x plus 5. Okay. So then I look at the bottom of the page here, and it's the exact same thing we were just doing with the parallel, except it doesn't give me the slope yet. So I would have to solve for y. So I'm going to have to write it in standard form. Divide everything by 3. The only thing I care about is this. Since it says perpendicular, then I'm going to take that and I'm going to flip it, so 3/5, and it would be a positive because you're changing the sign. And then I'm going to use that point. So y minus the y value equals m times x minus the x value. So y minus 1 times n, that would be a plus. So that's 3/5 x plus 15/5 is 3. Add the 1, and my equation is 3/5 x plus 4. Okay, so if it's parallel, you're going to use the same slope. If it's perpendicular, you're going to flip the slope. So kind of, like we've been talking about the last, I don't think we need to do all of these, but I do think we need to do a couple. So I would like you to do 5 and 7. 5 and 7, pause the video, we'll look at them. Okay, these are parallel. So the only thing that I need out of here is the slope, and it's a 2. So I'm going to do I'm going to do y equals mx plus b. So that's a -8. I'm going to add 8, and b equals 7. So my answer is 2x plus 7. Okay. On the next one, it is not solved for y. So I got to do that first. divide everything by a negative 2. So that's 1/2 x minus 7. This is parallel, so the only thing I care about is the 1/2. And I'm going to take that with these coordinates, and I'm going to say y minus the y value equals x, the m, sorry, times x minus the x value. All right, 1/2 of 4 is 2. Add the 5, and I would get y equals 1/2 x plus 3. And even if you use the other method, we should still end up with the same answers on these two. It doesn't matter which method you used. We would end up with the same answer. So you use whichever one. I'm just going to keep flipping back and forth because quite honestly, you have to be able to use both of them in your future. So it doesn't hurt for you to see one of them, okay, that maybe you don't think you like. All right, so on the next one, this is asking for perpendicular. I would like you to do 9 and 11. Pause. Okay, so on perpendicular, I don't want 3/4. I want the opposite reciprocal of that. So that's the slope I'm going to use. And I'm going to do y equals mx plus b. So that is a negative 12 over 3, so that's a negative 4. So I'm going to add 4, and I get 1. So my answer is negative 4/3 x plus 1. Okay, and then on this last one, I need to solve first. So I'm going to minus 2x, negative 2x plus 20. Divide everything by 10, and I get y equals negative 1/5 x plus 2. Again, I don't really care. I just need that value, and it is a negative 1/5, so the perpendicular would be the opposite, so it's positive, and the flip, so it's 5. So you're going to do y minus the y value equals m times x minus the x value. So you're going to times in by 5 and then add the 3. And so your answer is 5x minus 7. So parallel and perpendicular.